Hello, welcome back to the course. In today's lecture, we are going to look at a derivation of work done considering clearance volume in an air compressor. Before we proceed further, let us look at a PV diagram as shown here, in which we have not considered the clearance volume, clearly indicating that 0 to V1 is a swept volume. Under this condition, we have derived a number of equations as shown. Now let us look at the clearance volume. When the piston is reciprocating within the cylinder, we see that the volume which is available on top of the piston and below the cylinder head is called as a clearance volume. Taking this into consideration, the PV diagram changes considerably. Now let us look at the why clearance volume is desired. The presence of clearance volume is required because we don't want the piston to strike against the valves which are located on the cylinder head and eventually damage the components. The other reason why we require clearance volume is in order to accommodate the reciprocating action or valve actuation, in fact, of the inlet valve and the exhaust valve. And because of the presence of this clearance volume, we have one more parameter to define here, that is the clearance ratio, which is given as the ratio between the clearance volume and the swept volume, and this usually varies from 2% to 10%. Now let us look at the effect of clearance volume. Because of the presence of clearance volume, we see that the air that is admitted into the engine or into the cylinder, in fact, is less compared to that of the piston swept volume. And because of the presence of clearance volume, the amount of power input that goes on to the compressor increases, and the magnitude of clearance volume dictates the pressure ratio. Now let us look at the PV diagram with clearance volume. So we have the number of processes that are going on here. Process 1 to 2 is a compression, 2 to 3 is the delivery process, 3 to 4 is expansion, and then we have 4 to 1 suction process. And the volume between V1 and V4 signifies the effective swept volume, and the volume between V3 and V1 signifies the piston displacement volume, and the volume between O and V3 signifies the clearance volume. And it is very clear to us that the total volume which is V1 is equal to the sum of the clearance volume and the piston displacement volume. And the law that is followed during compression process and expansion process is given to us here. And for compression process, we have polytropic index given here as NC, and for expansion process we have polytropic index given as NE. Moving further, we are interested in the area within this curve. For that, one has to subtract the area 1 to 2 to E and 2 to D with that of 3 to E and E to D and D to 4. Then we get the area enclosed inside the PV diagram, indicating the net work input. So we have the two areas here which has to be subtracted. So from the area 1 to 2, 3, 2 to E and D, we get a straightforward work compression equation from the earlier understanding. And from area 3 to E, D to E and D to 4, we have expansion work. The only difference between these two equations is P1 V1 is replaced by P4 V4, and the pressure ratios is between P3 and P4. Moving further, while subtracting and using the conditions as shown here, we get that we replace that P4 with P1 and P3 with P2 and all the NC and NE with N. We get the equation of this kind. And taking the common factors outside, what we get here is the final equation here has shown, and this is the equation which shows us the work done, net work input for a compressor with clearance volume. In the next class, we are going to look at volumetric efficiency. Thank you very much for your attention.